Knowledge with Kooskey.
Welcome everyone. Check 1, check 2. Thank you so much for watching this content. I really appreciate the journey that we're on together. This is a welcome to our second podcast. So this content here is all about understanding our mind, the fear response. I don't know about you, but my panic attacks and my anxiety was the worst. It would manifest in different ways. I had social anxiety. There was a year in my life where, actually a couple of years it happened, and then it would go away and come back, where I couldn't say hello, especially answering the phone. It was like performance anxiety. It just was debilitating. It's funny, I managed a call center much later. I mean, this was a few years ago during COVID, and there was still times, I would remember those moments. I was like, oh my God, what if you freeze like you used to? And, but anyways, besides that, there was other types of social anxiety, and then panic attacks were the worst for me. It was probably when I was driving. I was self-medicating a little too much with some medical marijuana products, and long story short, I was having really bad panic attacks where sometimes it would just, all the stress that I was having finally had these moments where it would come out and it would be debilitating. I remember having my ex-wife she drove me to the hospital thinking it was a heart attack, but it was just anxiety. And it's interesting how we're wired and how things really do kind of work, because we as humans, the slightest thing can cause us to go or feel or to be triggered or activated, and we could go off the deep end. And for me, I was like just pressure cooker of feelings and pressure and feelings and just emotions, and when one thing came out, it was like, I was fine, but then once a month, once every other, fill in the date for all of us, it felt like this rush of emotions, and I couldn't control it, and it would overwhelm me, and I hated that feeling. And so this second chapter is really about, of my A series, was about unlocking and just kind of, as you're working on healing your pain, how can you actually work on the fear response? And so I really went into understanding the fight, flight, freeze response, and just kind of calming the parasympathetic nervous system. So that's really kind of what all of this is about, is really about getting a sense of control of our fight or flight response, and kind of befriending, fear, is what I'll hopefully get to once I get a few more episodes rolled out, after probably E, whenever I get to probably G and H, that's probably when I'll have a little bit more of even more context. So anyways, enjoy. Really appreciate you being here and enjoying the podcast. So thanks so much. Again, I'm Koos Matthew, or Saul Matthew of Kooskey. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of you, and please comment and subscribe. That would really be helpful. Thanks so much. Bye. Sorry, I was looking off, trying to turn this thing off, but bye. Thank you for watching.